One of the biggest names in the entertainment business, director James Cameron has made some of the most groundbreaking commercial movies of our generation: Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Terminator, Aliens, True Lies, Titanic, and Avatar. He is the man behind Hollywood's two of the highest-grossing movies of all time, Titanic and Avatar. Cameron was born in Kapuskasing, Ontario in the year 1954. His mother Shirley worked as a nurse, while his father Philip was an electric engineer. James studied in Stamford Collegiate School in Niagara Falls, before the family moved to California. He completed his schooling in Troy High School before enrolling in Fullerton College, where he studied physics. He dropped out of college and started working, his first job being that of a truck driver. Whenever he could get time off the truck driving job, James would write. He would go to a nearby USC library and particularly read books on film technology, reading theses by graduate students on subjects like front screen projections and optical printing. After seeing Star Wars in 1977, James Cameron became sure about what he wanted to do with his life. He read Screenplay, a book by Sid Field, which inspired him to write a 10-minute science fiction short film script titled Xenogenesis. He and a few similar thinking friends raised money, had the camera, film stock and studio rented, and shot the short film in 35mm. Cameron recalls how they had spent the first half of the day trying to understand how the camera worked and how to shoot the film from various angles. Cameron became a production assistant on a movie called Rock and Roll High School in 1979. He was not given the credit, but working on the film set acquainted him with filmmaking in a more structured environment. He dabbled with low-cost productions and continued educating himself with different filmmaking techniques. He bagged the job of an art director in a film called Beyond the Stars in 1980. Cameron then went on to do set designs for movies like Escape from New York, Galaxy of Terror, and Android. While working as the special effects director for Piranha 2: The Spawning, in 1981, in Jamaica, he along with the crew found themselves embroiled in many technical problems including bad weather. The director of video was especially livid with Cameron, for not getting the close-up of actress Carol Davis, for the crucial opening scene. Regaining his composure, the director asked Cameron to try getting the close-up again, the next day. But the following day was not really a good day, as the weather was worse. A video then asked Cameron to forget about the lighting and close-up and just assist him with the film shooting. The next part of the segment was being shot in Rome. When a video was doing the editing, Cameron was stuck with food poisoning. He had a nightmare about an all-powerful robot hitman sent from the future to eliminate him. This was the birth of the Terminator. Cameron was assigned to direct the sequel to Alien in the year 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. The movie sequel Aliens, in 1986, had Sigourney Weaver, in the memorable role of Ellen Ripley. Cameron went on record to say that he faced a lot of issues directing the film, as many actors and important crew members thought of him as a poor choice for Ridley Scott. Even Terminator did not convince them. In fact, most of them had not even seen the film in the first place. The outcome was far from negative. Aliens became a huge box office success, bagging Sigourney Weaver Academy Award nomination for Best Actress in a Leading Role, as well as nomination for Best Visual Effects, Best Movie Editing, Best Original Score, Best Sound Effects, and Best Art Direction. The idea for The Abyss took shape from oil rig workers who come face to face with underwater creatures. The movie went over budget at $71 million, and at that time, was one of the most expensive movies ever made. The movie was a blockbuster, and critically acclaimed as well, earning $90 million. One of the most repeatedly watched, still so fresh movies of all time, Terminator 2, Judgment Day was mooted with the idea to make a franchise out of it. Linda Hamilton reprised the role of Sarah Connor, while Schwarzenegger returned as Terminator, this time as a protector rather than the destroyer. Mario Kassar of Carolco Pictures bought the rights and TriStar Pictures distributed it. The budget was an overwhelming $100 million, and released on July 3, 1991. T2 or Terminator 2, Judgment Day broke all previous box office records, and earned $300 million in US and Canada, apart from $300 million in other countries. It was the highest-grossing movie of 1991, and won numerous Academy Awards, including Best Visual Effects, Best Makeup, Best Sound, and Best Sound Editing. Just before Terminator was being made, Schwarzenegger asked Cameron if he would be okay to remake a French coming-of-age movie he personally loved, called La Totale. The story revolved around a secret spy, who according to his wife is a computer salesman. Apart battling his own comedy of errors, this agent has to also bust a terrorist threat. After Cameron expressed an interest to develop the story and direct the film, his company Lightstorm Entertainment teamed with 20th Century Fox to produce True Lies. Made with $115 million, this pulsating comic action thriller made $147 million in US and $235 million worldwide. Cameron was always fascinated by the infamous sinking of the unsinkable, the RMS Titanic. He decided to put history on celluloid with a romantic story between two young lovers from different socio-economic backgrounds who meet on the ship. Most of the dialogue of the film was written on the research period, when James along with the crew dived to the bottom of the Atlantic and took actual footage of the ship underwater, most of which he retained in the film. Titanic, that went way above the budget at $200 million, was criticized by skeptics, during the making itself, for its needless expenditure and stretched schedules. The running time of 3+ hours was also criticized by a huge segment of critics. The movie released late in December 19, 1997. The prediction of cynics seemed to come true when the movie raked just $28.6 million. The second week transformed everything with an increase of nearly 23.9% occupancy. Titanic soon became a Titanic hit, ruling on the #1 spot on the box office not just in US but in many countries including many nations across Asia for months. Even in India, where Bollywood movies usually reign, Titanic pushed the business of indigenous movies down. Titanic became the highest-grossing movie of all time, crossing the $1 billion mark only to be beaten by James Cameron's next movie Avatar in 2009. Titanic won 11 Oscars including the Best Film and the Best Director for him. James Cameron had actually written the script for Avatar in 1995 and had decided to make it after Titanic. He however pushed the film all the way back to 2009 because Cameron felt that the technology, to match his vision, was not ready in the 1990s and the first half of 2000. The CGI was so complex that round-the-clock, post-production work pushed the release date from May to December 2009. Avatar was the first Hollywood movie to cross $1 billion. In fact, it made $2.74 billion, becoming the highest-grossing movie of all time, even crossing the Titanic. It was nominated for 9 Academy Awards. Though it missed the Best Director and Best Picture, it won awards for Best Art Director, Best Visual Effects, and Best Cinematography. James Cameron is a director who loves to make movies larger than life in style, but keeps them really simplistic when it comes to substance. The Titanic romantic pose stands as a pinnacle of romance in contemporary cinema. One of the fabulous elements in this very scene, as you can see, is attention to detail, in terms of natural lighting. The lesson and the firing that Cameron got when he failed to get the right kind of lighting for Piranhas 2 helped him get the best out of him. The attention to detail and the scintillating backdrop replete with natural lighting is the hallmark of his cinema. Cameron's films are often based on themes which explore the conflicts between artificial intelligence and humanity or nature, strong female characters, and a romance subplot. James Cameron is known to be a strict disciplinarian, to the point of being temperamental. Actors like Sigourney Weaver have praised Cameron's perfectionist mindset and says that he really cares for his films unlike many other directors. She said that he wouldn't mind if his actors did not risk their limb and life for the movie, because even he does the same thing. James Cameron has a net worth of $900 million. In total, Cameron's films have grossed approximately $2 billion in North America and $6 billion worldwide. Here are some of the most inspiring James Cameron quotes. Curiosity is the most powerful thing you own. Imagination is a force that can actually manifest to reality. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. Hope is not a strategy. Luck is not a factor. Fear is not an option. People call me a perfectionist, but I'm not. I'm a rightist. I do something until it's right, and then I move on to the next thing. Pick up a camera. Shoot something. No matter how small, no matter how cheesy, no matter whether your friends and your sister star in it. Put your name on it as director. Now you're a director. Everything after that you're just negotiating your budget and your fee. Did you find this video helpful? If yes, please hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and press the bell icon for new videos.